Alright, what you see here is a NuTone Verandah Deluxe ceiling fan. This is a fan I got a while ago. In fact, right when I first moved into this apartment. I got this from Brandon C. Johnson back in 2016. And I've been meaning to test this fan for the longest time, but I just never had a downrod to use it on. Or before tested at the time, test area to do it until like a year or two ago. And now that I have a short downrod I can use on it, here I finally got it up for a video. And this fan right here is from 1985. It came with a 3-arm light kit, which I didn't like the look of it that much, so I took it off. But I also plan to show it with a light kit as well. Now the bell canopy you see on it is not original to this fan. It's actually from one of the brown and brass ones that I saved from the bank. Same thing with the downrod. Actually, what I did was I stole it out of that, covered it with tape, painted that brass, so that way I always have a brass looking downrod for it. Now these are major childhood fans, exact configuration setup that you see right here. Because the Burger King near me had two of them just like this with oak blades. Now that I see this one up together, I remember it was just like this. And around 2005-ish, I want to say, they took them down because it was like in an arch ceiling area. Like it was like a rectangular frame in the center of the Burger King. And in that frame, there was like a arch ceiling with wooden arch ceiling of some sort. And then it had two of these. And I absolutely loved those fans. They were so unique looking to me. So when I saw that Brandon was selling this back then, I was like, I gotta get it because it's the exact configuration that those two were. Except for the switch cap, which later on I got because this switch cap Brandon traded for a light kit to Mark, and then Mark ended up giving it to me for something else. I forget what it was, but yeah. But yeah, here it is finally assembled, and you might remember in Brandon's video that the fan had some bearing noise to it. I actually fixed that. I actually just put some 3-in-1 motor oil in it, and it's quiet now, so luckily it doesn't need new bearings. It was probably just dried out after so many years. And the variable speed does work on this fan. Now, I'm not sure if this fan was bypassed or not when he got it, but works just fine. Though it doesn't have a super slow, low speed to it like NuTones usually do. So I'm guessing when they're on an actual like solid state or speed control, they'll on a very slow, low speed. But yeah. Now, one of the blade arms on this fan is not original. This one right here. This is actually from the 36-inch one that I got. And that's because one of the 4 out of these, of the original ones for this one, was bent downwards quite a bit, so it would make the fan wobble pretty badly. Not badly, but more than I wanted for the video. So I figured I'd just steal one from that one and put it on this just for the test. It still wobbles a bit, but nothing bad. But yeah, it just really reminded me of that Burger King, how it was back then. Not sure if other Burger Kings would have the same install, but something I've noticed with Burger Kings is that they had a lot of different fans installed in various locations, so it wasn't like that all the Burger Kings had the same fans and such, like Subway does, for an example. But, yeah, let's go ahead and start off on very low. This is a 2-speed fan. High and then very low, where you can adjust the speed to it. I think that's all right. Oops, there we go. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure the ones at the Burger King I went to were on a variable speed control as well. Or solid state control, because I remember sometimes they would be fast, sometimes they'd be slower and such, and so I know that for a fact they did not turn them on by the pull chains. And every now and then the workers would actually turn on for me when there was one worker that would, like if we asked, they would turn them on for me and such. And this is like way before I was collecting fans, but they probably would have kept those fans up until like 2011 when they actually renovated the whole entire place. Because what had happened was that area where the fans were in the center had a very bad leak, and the fans got water damage, so they couldn't save them. Otherwise, they would have just left it the way it was. And then there's the brown ones, the 52-inch brown ones at the church that I used to go to a lot as a kid. And then there was the bank that I saved 2 brown and brass ones from. I saw these in quite a few places as a kid, but every time I saw them, I already knew what they were. I'm like, oh, those cool fans with the square shaped looking brackets with the unique looking thing on the bottom. That's what I always told myself they were. And there was a place that had two of these as well. I know they were polished brass, but I'm not sure what the finish was. I don't think they were stencil blades. They might have had stencil, but I'm pretty sure they had like walnut blades on them. Which I could put some walnut blades on this one since the ones from those bank ones have that. But since I'm moving out of this basement soon, I'd rather save that for another time. Like this configuration right here it's more childhood than the other one. It could have been oak wood like this too, but I didn't see those fans as often like I did with the ones at Burger King. It was like some restaurant called Big Bedford or something like that, where you walk in, basically, like straight, and then there was one room to that side and one room to the other side, and each room had a NuTone Verandah Deluxe. It's a very unique setup, right? That's for a medium mesh speed. I'm actually surprised how quiet this fan is after oiling. I thought it would still make some noise, but I guess it was just a little bit, it dried out and such. Fasco Charleston make the same noise, so since I know it made this fan quiet, I know they'll definitely make that one quiet as well. But yeah, these are major childhood fans for me. So the fact that I'm able to have one just like the one I saw as a kid definitely makes me happy as a fan collector. This fan I actually did want to install in the dining room here, and I actually could with the way this fan mounts, but the problem is I'd have to fish wires like how it is there to get it to run. Basically, I wanted to put this in the dining room, but what had happened was I would have had to run wiring like this, but at the same time it would be in the center of the medallion. So if it was like just regular ceiling, I would do it, but since there's a medallion in the center, it would look very strange having wire fishing out of it and such. So that's the reason why I didn't put this in the dining room. Plus, I'm only living here for a few years. I mean, been here for almost 4 years now, probably for another 2 years, and so it wasn't really worth it for me and such. Plus, it's an apartment too. If it was a house, that's a different story. But also, I didn't want to damage the medallion because it's a plaster one. It's a really old one, so I like to leave those alone and such. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and move it up to high. I try to test some weaker fans after this one because there's a lot of dust here, and already have that big shelf there out and such, so I'm afraid it's gonna kick up the dust a bit more, but well, actually it's not, so that's good. I'm gonna have to vacuum up this space before I move out of it. I only have by the time you're seeing this, it's like where I'm testing this one, I'm already will be moved out of the basement, so it's just gonna go up like sometime in the summer. But as of the time I'm filming this right now, I still have the shelf on the left and the smaller one near underneath the Monte Carlo. Those are the only two left in here. So, yep. But back to this fan. Definitely moves quite a bit of air on high speed. It's not Casablanca air movement, but it's definitely very good air movement. It's almost Casablanca. I mean, this one does use a K55 motor. I don't think it's the GE motor that they would use. I'm pretty sure they changed it by this time. I'm not 100% sure because this one doesn't say anything on it in terms of like the brand of the motor. I think these used Emerson ones as well. I know they use GE. I think maybe Emerson, maybe Samsung as well. I think those are the three they used. But correct me if I'm wrong. But I think those are the three stack motors that they would use for these. So a lot of paper that were behind the shelves that are moving around. So that is something you might hear in some of the last few videos I filmed on here, that you might hear quite a bit of paper moving around in the background. That's just because it's a lot of it. And if I was to take the time to do that, then I wouldn't have any time left to do the testing. So I'm just trying to test all the stuff I want to test down here quickly before I'm done with the basement. Then start cleaning up the little pieces of trash here and there. Actually, now that I think about it, actually could be on par for Casablanca. Not exactly, but it's actually pretty close in terms of air movement. Right underneath it, definitely, in terms of spreading it around, not as much, but if it went a bit fast, I feel like it would definitely, just a tiny bit faster, it would need to go. I feel like it would be on par with Casablanca. Alright, now for spin down. Yeah, these are definitely one of my favorite fans. It's definitely a top 10 childhood fan without a question. Probably top 5, in all honesty. But I remember like the ones at the Burger King that I would go to, or when they had them still there. I don't really eat Burger King that much anymore. I would just go there for the Happy Meal or the kids meal toys and such for the most part. But I don't remember seeing them on high that much. Usually they would be either on low or medium. I mean, it's very rare to see like a fast food place or a restaurant to have ceiling fans on high speed, since it would cool down the food and such. But yeah, if it wasn't for those two there, this combination right here wouldn't be that. Well, they were the ones at the church, the brown ones that are at the church still too. But if I didn't see these the two brass ones at the Burger King, the brass version wouldn't be that big of a childhood fan for me. And there was the other two at that other restaurant, which I forget the name of, that I got and such. But it was more so the ones at the Burger King that really made these big childhood fans for me. Alright, now to show it in reverse. Interestingly enough, from what I remember when I tested the little one, the 36 inch quickly, when it was in this position, it was actually on reverse, but for this one, it's the other way around. Alright, whoops. I was trying to remember if I had it set to the lowest setting or not. One thing I'm definitely glad about not testing down here and having stuff down here anymore is I don't have to worry about it getting damaged by people when they come by to work on stuff like the pipes, the tanks, and everything. So that was something that I always worried about, and rightfully so. I mean, sometimes they've left a fan on. Like I remember when they tested the Minuet 2 down here, they left that one on one time. And with how much that fan hummed, that was probably one of the last fans I'd leave on. But especially with like the fans like the Hampton Bay Cameron 2 Plus, the brushed steel one, or this fans that would hang somewhat low or had a unique lights, I really wouldn't want to keep them on a test mount for too long because I'd be afraid of them getting hit by something or damaged. So now with me moving moving the testing to Nathan's place, where it wouldn't stay up on a test mount, it would be tested, taken down right away. I don't have to worry about that. Plus, it's in a more secure place. Whereas this is kind of open to anybody who lives in the apartment, or anybody who needs to come in here and such. Whereas that space is his own space that he rents out and such, but only he's allowed to go there, so definitely makes a big difference. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.